Well, there's always a lot of talk on devolution and financing. I just want to break it down for you and show you the allocations that were set aside by government in the 2014-2015 budget. If you can pull that up now, you will see that the total amount was 221 billion shillings, or thereabout in that figure. So now let's see what the allocation stood at first, and we'll begin with Nairobi standing at about 11 billion shillings. And then on to Turkana, they received about 8.9 billion shillings. In Mandera, there was about 7.625 billion shillings allocated to them. On to Kakamega with, again, a similar figure of 7.625, and Bungoma at 7.194 billion shillings. Now, remember, that's out of a total of 221 billion shillings. That was in the previous financial year. You have heard governors advocating for more funds. Let's look at what the government intends to present to them. At least in the June budget, which will be the 2015-2016 budgetary allocation, coming up to 291.4 billion shillings. Again, of course, a far cry from the 45% that governors want. But Nairobi will be receiving about 8 billion shillings more at 19.95 billion shillings. We have 2 billion shillings more for Turkana here at 10.877 billion shillings. In Kakamega, there's again another 10 billion shillings allocated to them, 3 billion shillings more than they received the previous year, and another 3 billion shillings more going to Mandera County. And let me give you a new entrant. Nakuru will have 9.06 billion shillings. You will, of course, also recall that the Senate had allocated about 7 billion shillings more to the counties through the Division of Revenue bill that was before MPs this afternoon, and they concluded that that 7 billion shillings was not appropriate. So let's now listen to our Hussein Mohammed. As we've said, he's been following the Devolution 2015 conference, and he's joining us now with part one of the Big Question interview. Hussein.
Right, and like we said, of course, the second annual Devolution conference is taking place in Kisumu County. The overriding theme, celebrating devolution. But one of the things already we've said featuring prominently today is the governor's demand that security be devolved, or where exactly is the place of security in the counties. And that is the big question we're asking, the big question tonight. We're asking, should security be devolved to the counties? You can talk to us on 22422 and on Twitter using the hashtag The Big Question, and we'll be looking at your and sampling your comments already. And we have the chairman of the Council of Governors, Isaac Ruto, with us. We are still expecting Senator Dr. Boni Khalwale for this discussion to begin. But I'll just start by asking him briefly that question we're asking: should security be devolved to the counties, Chairman?
Yes, aspects of security should be devolved. We are not saying the entire security apparatus be devolved. We are simply saying there has to be a specific function for the counties to perform on security. That is to be able to respond quickly and protect the locals, and so that we can be able to utilize even local intelligence so that we can protect wananchi quickly.
All right.
When the national government takes its time to respond, we should be able to respond quickly.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Chairman of the Council of Governors, Isaac Ruto. And that discussion, of course, will be coming to you shortly. Like we said, we are expecting Dr. Boni Khalwale, Kakamega Senator, who had confirmed that he's coming to have this discussion with us. And
welcome back. On the Big Question tonight, we focus on matters devolution. Hussein Mohammed is standing by live from Kisumu, the city that is hosting the 2015 Devolution Conference. Hussein, over to you.
Right, and that is the second annual Devolution Conference happening in this county. Like we said, one of the issues featuring prominently today is the governor's demand that security be devolved to the counties. That is the question we're asking on the Big Question tonight. Should security be devolved to the counties? You can talk to us on 22422 on Twitter using the hashtag The Big Question. I'll read some of your tweets and we'll look at your SMSs. Owino Bob says, counties have failed in health. If you want Kenya to be a failed state, then devolve security. It's a big no. Kahiu Gidhuda says it's risky, but I think it's time we consider devolving to counties, but with great supervision from the national government. And then somebody says, devolving security is like giving a helping hand to upgrade corruption. They failed in health. That is Munyinya Mwai. Keep sending us your comments. We'll be looking at them. We were expecting Senator Dr. Boni Khalwale with the chairman of the Council of Governors, Isaac Ruto, who is here. Thank you so much for making time for the big question. We cannot find the Senator for Kakamega County, Dr. Boni Khalwale, who had confirmed that he's coming for this show. You said, when we asked you this question, security should be devolved to the counties. Why do you say that?
I have said, and we as a council have looked at that issue with serious consideration. We believe aspects of security should have a local input. There is no way you are going to protect a town like Kakamega, or let's say one of the local towns around there without a local input. You saw what happened in Garissa. The locals in Garissa were saying, what exactly is this that is happening? We could help sort out this problem. The governors have continuously warned about impending attacks, but no action was taken. Cases, very clear examples exist in Mandera, and even that Garissa. Everybody was aware that something was going to happen, but somebody could only send in 2 police officers. But what we are saying is, we are not asking for security as such to be developed. We have talked about aspects of security. For example, having the local, the administration police to at least work with the counties.
In what?
There are so much. There is so much.
How with the county?
To work, for example, to be able to be asked to step in with the quick response, so that counties will ensure that they don't lack fuel, they don't lack movement abilities, and that they are able to use local intelligence information. Okay. For instance, in several countries, this is what is happening. It's not a reinvention in Kenya only. The only problem we have in Kenya is that we want to play politics on everything, including playing politics on the lives of Kenyans. For example, somebody telling us that healthcare has failed. Where is that place where healthcare has failed? Some
aspects, we can't really go into the whole of that, but you can agree, while healthcare has been successful in some counties, in some areas we've been seeing strikes and all. Yeah, but there have been problems. You can't argue for all counties. But the question is, you're saying you need a local dimension in this.
Yes.
As it is, are you saying that the local population in these counties is not...
You know what is happening is that a police officer posted, for example, the one from Bomet, posted, for example, to go and take charge of Bondo. To what extent can he empathize with the local people in Bondo, the fellow from Bomet? Let me also tell you something else, that Vijana are the very key persons that can help us combat this insecurity. Right. But the youth do not empathize with the police. They run away from the police. Yes. They will not tell them anything. And a Vijana in any market know the local situation.
An officer, the example you've given, an officer being sent from Bomet to Bondo,
for example.
He won't empathize? Yeah, what are you saying? They shouldn't be sent?
I'm simply saying that, for example, he will be new on arrival. He won't know who is likely to give him the right information.
But that is their job,
who is likely? No, these are realities. It happens all over the world. In America, for example, the local, they elect a sheriff to deal with such situations. But you will have the national police who are also present, the regular police who respond to national command. And in certain situations, the commander-in-chief must still be in charge of security. At any given time.
You're talking about
the president.
Right, you're talking about having, for example, administration police officers being told to react to something very quickly.
Yeah, and being able to take...
by who? You're saying this should be under who? The governor?
Under the county government. And there will be a commander for that, appointed generally. But the supervision, the training, the arming must remain a national government event. We do not expect counties to start sourcing for bullets and such like things or training. That should remain a national government function. But for example, there should be sharing of intelligence, and that the governor should know that these people are responding at night. Sometimes we are also helpless. For example, the whole night you hear there is a rampage somewhere, but the police do not listen to you. So
but they have county commanders listening to them, don't they?
Listening to
the police. The county commanders in charge of them. They are
not responding.
But they are regional. I mean, the thing is, they are regional administration structures as it is in these counties, aren't there? Do you agree? That is there. It's a fact.
The county commissioners, for example, they just lock themselves in the house and do nothing.
But Honorable Ruto,
where do you live?
I live in Kenya, I live in Nairobi, and very many areas. But
in Nairobi, you don't care much about what's happening around you. Out there in the villages, out there in the local markets.
But out there in the villages, these are the people mandated to take care of security, and this, I mean, they have structures that go to the local community.
Okay, have they done it? Are you satisfied they've done it?
It's not about me, first of all.
No, I'm just asking.
But the thing is, I mean, are you saying that they've completely failed as well?
Most of the time they've failed. We live there and we know they hardly do anything.
So what makes you think
It is just a matter of, in some situations, it's just a matter of good luck that nothing is happening. You will find them, they'll be told that there is an attack. Their response will be 3, 4, 5 hours later. Most of the time they only come and do to check, and they say they will investigate. They'll pick 1 or 2 fellows, go and put them in and collect the dead ones. Is that what we are looking for in security?
So why do you think governors will be better if it's put under the county government? Well, why do you think, what will change?
Response time, facilitation. Sometimes the police don't have even fuel. We have got situations where when you check the budget that they are being given, they only have probably 2 liters per vehicle. Where does it go in a day? Yeah, they don't have fuel, and no one really oversights to ensure that they have fuel. And also, these vehicles sometimes just simply break down. They are not available at the given time.
Why don't you work? Why don't
we should be able to facilitate them.
Why don't you just do that? Why don't you just do that aspect of facilitation?
How do we do it? And they have been told to keep off the governors.
Is facilitating them in itself, would that be enough for you?
It is very important, facilitating them and ensuring that they are able to move.
But would that be enough for you?
That will be plenty of, that will be a major move. For example, if I'm able to give them fuel without any questions, for example, I would rather do that.
Just
because
helping them
survival,
with
survival of the people is more important to us than anything else. No government can exist without supporting, ensuring that the lives and property of the people is protected.
Just help.
I have seen this when we even had problems with cattle rustling in our own areas a long time ago. The group that could easily respond were the administration police. The other police are very difficult for them to come to site.
But giving them resources would be enough, isn't it? I mean, most of the people, the critics of this, most of them see county governments, and especially county governors, just seeking to have this under them as well.
Well,
to have security under them.
You can only say that. You can only say that for purposes of politics. But the need, the actual need, maybe somebody should do a need assessment. Go and listen to the people. What are they saying?
Okay.
Go and listen to the people in the markets.
Okay.
Go and ask them what is the best way
to handle this.
Public participation is very
important. And
what has happened in most situations, you'll find people who are comfortable in Mudaigas, comfortable in places like Buruburu, the upper middle class. They control the press. They control the perceptions, because they are able to communicate. But down there's a lot of frustration in the villages.
Okay.
There's a lot of frustrations.
Okay. Just like you said, where you wish that we would have measured this.
Yes.
We also don't know if you have measured that, so that we also know if this is exactly what people want.
Yes.
But the question is, the commanders or the top, the top officials or officers of the administration police or regular police in these counties have been trained for years on end to do this, isn't it?
It's not a matter of training. Everybody has been trained in this country and they have not performed.
But security is a matter of training. You don't expect me, for instance, to just go and say, I will be in charge of security, or I'll be giving
that is not the aspects.
Directives. Yeah.
That's not the aspects. For example, the local security committee, there ought to be an input from the county government. For example, when they meet or something like that,
you want to be involved?
Themselves. Yeah, they should be involved. There has to be civilian oversight. Why does the country talk about civilian oversight over the police, over the uniformed police?
And we have that
at the local level. There should be civilian oversight.
But we have the independent police oversight authority for that. And it's. And
do you understand the functions?
It's in the
do you understand the functions of the police oversight authority?
Yes.
And the way it is structured in the constitution.
Okay. Let me ask you this.
The structure of the law does not actually help much. It is like post-mortem. It's like planning for the future and nothing else. In between, there is no way a governor can pick up a phone and ask the police to quickly respond. There is this problem that is happening.
Why should the governor do that? It's not.
Why shouldn't he do?
It's not his. I mean,
who responds to him?
He doesn't have. It's important.
Who calls him?
Okay.
So are you telling us that as county governments, we just watch?
No,
there will be ndurus all over the place, and you say no, the police officers are there. Is that what you are telling us?
Okay, let me ask you
what
this
is the point of elections? What's the point? There are leaders locally there. People go to the governors for now. In fact, they have almost forgotten who the county commissioners were. I want to tell you that's precisely what's happening in a large number of places.
Right.
So you want us to fold our hands and say no problem?
I'm not saying that. I'm just trying to try and make sense of what you are saying and what you're asking and what you're demanding to have this thing devolved. You know, in this country, the politics that goes on in this country, some people have already raised concerns or questions that governors have been elected and they have supporters in their counties. Some may not be liking them, some may be liking them, but of course he's working for the whole county. Can you trust a governor with security, knowing that he has supporters? And in some cases in this country, you know very well, there are clan dynamics in this country. A governor may belong to one clan, which is always in a problem with another clan. How can you trust them with such a function?
I know those issues are prevalent in the northeastern parts of Kenya.
Yes.
But there is a large part of this country that have no clan issues. But I want to tell you, even areas where there are clans, a governor is a governor for everybody. And that is why governors hardly identify very much with political parties. Because once elected, you have a responsibility to protect and provide for everyone. Those who think we are partisan, some of them think like that. But by and large, what is the better option? We continue witnessing massacres like we've seen. We continue risking the lives of Kenyans continuously like that. To what extent? For how long will you do that? You may not want, there's been a lot of bashing of the current governors. They will continue bashing like that because there is resistance. These are new concepts. People are getting used to counties. But I want to tell you, things are happening in the counties. Notwithstanding the shortcomings, a lot has improved these past 2 years, and much better than it were for the previous.
But you can't speak, you agree you can't speak for every governor, that every governor will be...
I cannot, but by and large, that is the way it should be.
That is the way it should be.
By and large, take for example the counties where we have insecurity. I have constantly been in touch with the governors in the northern part of Kenya. Like Mandera. Mandera has been on security issues non-stop. It's like agenda number one. For that county. There were guns being shot all over the place after 6 o'clock previously. With the introduction of home guards, they have done quite a bit of installation of security, but there is still little which Governor Mandela has been doing. No matter what he says that things are about to happen, he has his life has been in danger several times. But what does the county commissioner tell him? What do the police tell him?
That is
you are just like any other Kenyan.
That is,
and don't worry.
That is a specific case too.
No,
that is a specific
Garissa the same thing.
Yes.
Wajir the same thing.
Right.
Even the other two.
You are justified to say that yes, that has happened. Let me give you an example then. Talk to me about, we have seen Mandera, we have seen the problems in Mandera and most of northeastern.
You've seen Marsabit.
And Marsabit, yes. But you also agree in all those countries there are clan dynamics, apart from terrorism. You also agree with that, don't you?
Yes, there is clan dynamics.
Okay, let me ask you again about your county, for example, Bomet County. Have we seen big stories or big crime-related issues coming out of Bomet County? Would you say the county commander there is not working really?
It is simply because of luck in the area.
Because of luck?
I cannot tell you that...
Why would you say luck? Well, maybe they are...
Let me tell you.
I mean, they are trying to work around to make sure that crime does not persist in that area, and they are doing that. Why would you say it's luck? Why are you saying it's luck?
I think we will... You need to live. You need to live in those areas for you to appreciate the problem.
I live in this
because
areas.
The people, when we arrived about 2 years ago, insecurity in Bomet town has been a serious problem. For example, at night, there are areas you'll find fellows just with getters. With getters. And you will find the police are just next door and they are doing nothing. Some of them arrive even at night and they become part of the problem. In those areas.
Let's try
and the command system is just too far. You don't expect Boynet, for instance, to understand, to be able to sort out all the problems.
He has structures in all these counties, doesn't he?
If you believe that is the way it is, let us stay where we are. Let's wait and see.
Okay,
you will lose more,
I think
and this will become a political issue in 2017 anyway. Kenyans will have to make a decision on that, because if we feel that we are satisfied because Nairobi, the centrists are controlling the media, the centrists maybe are controlling the perceptions. 2017,
well,
it will have to be a matter.
Controlling the media.
No.
But anyway,
2017 will have to be a matter for the rest of the country to decide.
Okay, maybe one of the issues that critics have been, as we wind up now, one of the issues critics have been talking about largely is whether governors may have a direct say, like put some security agencies under the command of governors. Yes. Is that what you want, or is there any other way this can be, you can work around this? Like if you're just involved generally in security meetings, but still the function remains with the commanders.
We are involved. We come and sit there for a cup of tea and we leave. Is that what you are telling us? We have got to be sure that what is agreed on will be implemented. There has to be some civilian authority, some civilian
legally, how can that be
oversight.
Done? What will be done?
It can be done. We have got only we've got to redo the bill on the Kenya Police Service Act. That is all. And we are not asking
that you're planning to do?
It is not all of it that has to be done.
Yeah.
It's not all of it. The regular police must continue to have that national structure like they do in the rest of the world. But there has to be a contingent. That is
something you're planning to do.
We will have to do that through constitutional amendments if we find that it's impossible to do it within the parliamentary system.
Okay, thank you very much. Chairman of the Council of Governors, the Honorable Isaac Ruto, thank you so much for making time for the big question. Again, we are asking tonight, should devolution be devolved to the county governance? Keep talking to us on 22422 on Twitter using the hashtag The Big Question. We are expecting Senator Boni Khalwale. He confirmed he'll be coming. We don't know why he didn't show up, but all the same, thank you so much, Honorable Isaac Ruto. And it's back to you, and make sure, of course, you look at those comments.
All right. Thank you so much, Hussein. We're taking a short break on The Big Question. We're back with more news after these messages.